Hey, everybody, welcome back. We got another great show. Miles and I are going to be doing what we call the book club. We are going to be talking about this amazing book called Building a Story Brand. We're going to be talking about chapter number 6. Chapter number 6 is what, Miles? What is the topic in chapter number 6?
Called And Meets a Guide. So if you guys have been following us, one of the steps to building a story, one of the essential steps, is you need a guide or a mentor or some form of someone who's going to help push you through to your goal.
Yeah, and this is the thing. A lot of us, we wake up and we go about this completely the wrong way. In the mindset of that, like we've talked about in the past chapter, the hero and the guide. These are the two critical parts of the building a story brand. Every morning, Miles wakes up and he's the hero of his story. Every morning, I wake up and I'm the hero of my story, and that same thing goes for all of you. Now, the critical differences, and this goes for everybody working with clients, working on relationships, working on everything else, is the fact that everybody needs a guide. Now, Miles, give me a couple examples of guides that are in movies that we can recognize and resonate with.
Okay, so some of them that they mentioned throughout the chapter is obviously in Star Wars. You have first Obi-Wan and then Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
That is the guide for Luke Skywalker.
Yep.
They mentioned Hunger Games. I think the guy's name is Haymitch.
Haymitch, yeah, he's the alcoholic, guy who had already beat the Hunger Games. Who helped Katniss.
And then the other one they mentioned is Gandalf with Frodo.
Exactly, and all of us can resonate with that. Going, oh, that's right. He did look to him for guidance.
It's weird. I was watching a movie last night with my girlfriend, and I started to think about this chapter. I'm like, who's the guide in this one? And immediately points out, because there's one coming. Even in those solo movies where one guy's like the total badass and is going crazy on everyone, there's always someone there to give him some form of advice or something that he's going to use later. It's like predictable.
And this is the thing, guys. In real estate and in loans and in life, and I'm very guilty of it. And Miles, I'm sure you are, because we just didn't know the difference, right? We come in and we try to be the hero to our clients. We try to be the guiding light. We try to be the person who's like, hey, follow me, I can do it. In reality, what they're looking for is someone to say, hey, I've done this before. I know how to do it. Let me guide you through this. Here's the process, right? Lead them to success. Don't, drag them by their hair, to the closing table.
I think that one of the things I've been thinking about in some of the videos that I'm making, especially about investing in real estate, is sometimes I get on there and I'm like, this is what you need to do. This is why. Here's how you do it. I know because I know, and I'm an expert and blah, blah, blah. Versus saying, listen, this is what I've done. You can do it too. You can get there. We can do this together. Here's why you do this. Here's how you can get to that step, and making it more about them instead of myself and how great I am.
It's like, here, let me show you how this goes. This is what I've done in the past, so on and so forth. And your game. I was watching an interview with Jeff Bezos. Like him, love him, hate him, whatever it is. And this is in this chapter as well. He made it incredibly clear that once you stop worrying about growing your business and you become obsessed with the success of your clients, your business will flourish. Because guess what? You just became the guide. Why do we go to Amazon? It's easy. It's trusted. I mean, we already know they're going to guide us through the process. Oh, look at this. I found my ding dong thing that I like. Oh, one click buy. Click. Ding dong was probably a bad analogy, but you know what I mean. So, one of the other things when it comes to meeting a guide, this is something, Miles, I did myself, is I went back and you have to grow. You have to build empathy, right, and trust. Yeah. And be like, use verbiages like, you should never have to go through that. We understand that, verbiages like that. And once you start building empathy and you start talking about them, your marketing will shift significantly. I know. And they said, go back and look at your marketing material. And did you build trust? Did you show empathy? And I mean, I've probably, because I'm listening to the book on my Audible account, I've probably listened to this chapter, Miles, no joke, probably 20 plus times at least, and I keep getting nuggets of stuff out of it, and I keep seeing that our team has done an absolute piss poor job of showing empathy and building trust. It has been a predominantly, look at me, I'm so awesome, I'm so amazing, me, you know, you have to accept me for being an amazing human being and a great agent. And I give me some thoughts on kind of with reading this part of the chapter. You know, where in your business are you looking at potentially shifting it and showing empathy and building that trust and relating to your customers instead of saying, "Hey, I'm Greg McDaniel from McDaniel Callahan Real Estate Team. I've sold X amount of homes in X amount of time, and I've made X amount of money. I'm fucking awesome. You need to call me." I mean, that sounds like a pretty pompous fucking thing to say, doesn't it?
Yeah, I see that a lot in real estate. I think we all have egos, and it definitely comes across with the lifestyle picture and at a house that's probably not yours, or a bunch of people do it online now with the private jet that's actually just a build out of some expo or a toilet seat showing a private plane, and it's like, okay, come on.
Yeah, it's total bullshit.
In my business, I think what I try to do and what I need to do, again, sometimes we get caught up when we're busy, but especially with refinance clients, is what I'm trying to do a little bit more is put myself in their shoes. Sometimes people will come to me and say, "Oh, I want a 30-year fixed mortgage on this," and then I'll pull their credit, and I realize they're drowning in other debt. This is not the mortgage is one of the many things that's affecting them. It is not the cause issue of what is stressing them the hell out. So being able to find out what other debts we can either include or how we can shift their finances makes such a big difference with their livelihood, not just mortgage. So I think one of the things that I'm trying to do right now is look into borrowers' finances where they feel comfortable and make sure they're not overstretched. A lot of first-time home buyers. I talked to one yesterday, and they can afford this, but they don't want to, and that's okay. And for me, it's finding out, okay, maybe a different program will work so they can still find what they need. Maybe I'm helping them understand, like what you do. Or what we need to preach a little bit more is, okay, you don't start in a certain neighborhood, you end up there. So let's get you in a house where you can afford, you can build equity, you can have a decent lifestyle, you can save, and then we'll move you up, and that might build a client for life versus sticking someone in a home that they can't afford, and then they're going to regret it, and they're going to regret you, and then everything's going to blow the hell up. You know, building a client for life by just taking a little bit more,
a little bit more time. Ask questions. I mean, questions. If you consistently ask questions, you will control the conversation, and it's all about, Miles, tell me why you're trying to get this. Well, you know, what is this going to mean for you when you buy this house? What are they going to do for your life? Where would you like to end up on your payment? What price point do you feel comfortable in? You know, what have you seen? You know, where would you like to live? My biggest mistake when I first got into the business, I thought that I was God's gift to real estate.
Yeah, you do.
Hey, back then, jackass. But I always tell, they say, well, Greg, we want to buy in Danville. I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, great, you got to buy on the west side. Well, I don't like the west side. I'm like, oh, dude, you got to buy on the west side. I mean, come on. I mean, everyone's cool buys on the west side. And they're like, but I want to buy over here. And I'm like, no, horrible idea. We're gonna go over here. And what I was doing, I was being the hero, not the guide. And I learned very quickly that was that's kind of a big mistake. You don't really want to make that mistake.
That's a really good example. I wanted the essence of empathy, at least in the book. I wanted to read you something. It says, Oprah Winfrey, an undeniably successful guide to millions, once explained that three things every human being wants the most are to be seen, be heard, and be understood. And that's what I can say.
Well, that can be in a personal relationship, that can be in a business relationship, but then be seen, heard, and understood. You know, we can all screw that up on a consistent basis, but if you're aware of what's going on and you know that you're doing it, you can correct it incredibly quickly. And, you know, you can all of a sudden just say, okay, Miles, you need to do this. And you're like, I don't want to do that. You're like, oh, you have to do this. Oh, wait a minute. You're not being heard. Okay. Tell me more about what you would like. Again,
so I think when this, what the empathy has to do with, specifically in the chapter, was you want to. There are two main characteristics for a guide. One of them being empathy,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one being authority.
Mm-hmm.
And I started to think about that a little bit more. I'm like, yeah, that's true. Nobody's going to listen to someone who's just like, well, I think we should do this. Somebody wants to be told what to do or what you need to do, or some sort of authority to give it clout.
They need to be guided, not told.
Yeah.
And they need to show that you have done it before. And, empathy is something that I talked to one of my business partners about. I'm like, yeah, I'm reading this book, yada, yada, about, this is the part about empathy. He goes, you don't have any empathy. I'm like, what? I don't know if he was kidding or not, but that really got me thinking. I'm like, holy shit, do I not have any empathy? Like, do I not do that? Is it all about Greg? Oh no, this is horrible.
I think I get that too. It's like I'm a little bit too matter of fact, so it doesn't come off as like I have any feeling. Well, I feel like I care a lot that I have to make these points. It sounds like I'm a total dick.
Exactly. And so how do you fix that, right? How do you go around and build yourself some empathy? It's basically real empathy means letting customers know you see them as you see ourselves. Like you said, putting yourself in their shoes, understanding what's going on, and then being empathetic to their wants, needs, desires, and concerns. Because, I'll tell you one thing, man, I wake up every morning, I got concerns, I got worries, I got stuff going through my mind. Everybody does. And I have a friend of mine, and she's come alongside me and, helping me work through some shit in my life. And she's been incredibly empathetic and caring, and she's seeing me through her eyes as herself. And I'm going, man, this is some good shit. I could get down with this. And, she takes extra time to take phone calls from me and really work through some stuff. And I'm like, man, I gotta do that. And I've actually started to do that. I have two friends. I only have two friends. It's a lonely world. I have two buddies of mine, and they're both going through different battles and struggles in their life. And they're both struggling on a daily basis. And so they popped in my head today. And I'm like, I'm going to give them a call and see how they're doing. And they're both like, dude, that means the world to me. Thanks so much. I'm like, man, you're just on my heart, homie. I just wanted to see how you're doing.
It's a weird thing. I've been doing this a little bit more, and I wish I did more. But sometimes, like you said, just calling someone and say, hey, I was thinking about you.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes a difference. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine. She was on my podcast, and I took the time today to screenshot, because she's come miles and miles and miles with her business, because she's done some really incredible stuff. And I just screenshot her episode on the podcast and said, hey, you crushed it, and send her the link, and just showing some love forward, because I've had people do that to me before, and it feels absolutely amazing. Genuinely giving a fuck about another person, especially right now with COVID and the lockdown and all the struggles and trials and tribulations everyone's going through, both public and private. Some people are drinking too much, some people are eating too much, some people are just not working because they can eat bonbons and sit on their couch and nobody's gonna know. Well, your bank account's gonna know in about 30 days. Okay, so let's be honest.
Yeah, I think I had a friend I was talking to the other day, and they were mad at someone else. And I'm like, why? What happened? Like, I called and I asked them how they were coming, how they were doing during this whole coronavirus thing, everything that's going on in the world. And he told me, but he didn't even ask how I was. It pissed me off. I was like, well, that's true. Yeah, we should really genuinely care about other people.
And it's as hard as this, guys. And here, I'm going to blow your head off real quick. Take your phone, okay? Go to this. It's really cool. You go to your phone, right? And it pulls up this, right? Then you hit this little thing that says contacts. Oh, look, just start at the top. Make 4 phone calls a day. And then just keep working down the list, baby cakes.
When you say that, it sounds so easy.
It is.
A phone call. It is easy. But I think it's one of those things I've found that if I don't schedule in, I won't do it.
You know something that I'm doing right now?
We start doing other stuff, and it's like, fuck, I forgot. I'll do tomorrow.
So here's something I did yesterday, Miles, and I think this might be very pointed to kind of what we're talking about here. I was on a run. I was listening to some Gary Vee stuff, and I was also listening to an interview that his sister did, who's a real estate agent. I didn't really like the interview, but because she didn't have a lot to say, but it brought up a good point. And it's, I mean, you've heard Gary Vee say this 1,000 times if you follow him. He's like, every time you do a post, anyone that comments or likes, DM back and say thank you. How are you? And so I did a post. You saw it when I was running. I ran my 4 miles. And so in the morning, I posted it and come up, showered and everything else. Looked at it and I'm like, oh, there's 40 people. What am I going to do? I'm like, I just went back and I hit reply to every single person. I said, hey, thanks so much for watching my story. Have a great day. 40 people all the way down. Obviously, variation of it if I knew them or if they're a friend or close friend. And I got so many cool side conversations going. How's life? What's new? How's the fam? And I booked an appointment to talk to one of my longtime friends, like a 15-year-long friend. And she and I are going to meet for coffee, and we're going to talk to her and see if she might wants to get into real estate based on just saying, hi, thanks so much for watching all the crazy shit I put out there.
I'm literally texting my friend right now who I haven't talked to saying, when are we FaceTiming? When are we Zooming? Whatever.
So let's wrap this thing up. There's a couple of things I want to cover before we let everybody go. There are 4 ways to add authority. Like we're talking about empathy and authority, correct?
Yes.
Testimonials.
So this was 4 days to kind of add it to your marketing, which I thought was really good.
I thought it was
on testimonials.
Right. Stats, awards, and logos. And I started thinking about it. If any of you guys go to McDanielRealEstateSystems.com, that's my podcast. If you scroll down, you'll look at me acting a fool on it all over the place. But if you scroll down, you see all these logos, all these podcasts, all these organizations that have hired us, have been on the show, and I'm like, damn. Every time I see that, I'm like, damn, that feels good. Like it's not like if I'm looking from the inside out, from the outside in. I'm like, dude, okay, there's some credibility here, right? It builds a little bit of trust. We have some stats and we have some testimonials. We call it the wall of awesome, on our page.
That's cool.
Yeah, it actually is pretty cool.
I like that. I think in the testimonial, it was interesting. In the testimonials, I always get inundated just thinking, oh, the more is the better. There are going to be so many testimonials. And they were really like, no, you don't need that many. 2, maybe 3 is all you need. Doesn't take much. Doesn't take much in testimonials for people to see that as one of the items they're checking off.
Right, but it also needs to be they can't be, like you said, lengthy, short, and concise. I asked a lot of folks, and I had an out. It was a humbling experience when I asked folks to write me testimonials about what I've taught, if they've learned anything from me. Dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of them poured in. Some of them were like a freaking book, and some of them were 2 sentences. And we've talked about this in the book before. In this book, the reason why marketing goes awry so many times is because if the brain has to use too many calories to understand what's being told to them, it'll shut off. That's why 3 testimonials, short, done. So
I'm learning so much from this book. It's kind of crazy.
But you
think it's the opposite, and you're probably hurting yourself, which I've probably been doing for a long time. Awards is always good. I got award this 5-star professional thing. I'm like, oh, they want me to do all this other stuff. When you get those, for people who don't know, you can pay for extra like award stuff and magazine stuff. You can hang them up and they're kind of cool. And I was like, oh no, I don't really need all that. I'm just going to do me. But now I'm starting to think maybe one little blurb on an email just at the bottom would just give me a little bit more clout than what I'm doing now and not having nothing.
Exactly. So, and even if they don't even know what the award is, it still does something. I'm not saying go out and get into Canva and create your own awards and become fake.
Yeah, not that.
Don't go grab Chevron's, logo and be like, Chevron Employee of the Year. And Chevron's like, what the fuck? Or grab your brokerage and say, President Circle or Platinum Award winner. If you didn't win it, you didn't get it, don't fake it. Okay, fuck faces. You've got to actually do the work. Here's a funny story. Our team has awards coming out of our bunghole. I mean, it's actually kind of embarrassing how many awards we have. There used to be a row on top of this huge bookshelf in our office, and we had to like stack them in the back and push them together because there are so many. And I'm like, I wonder if that's just like overwhelming for someone to see, or is that build clout? What does that do? And so we decided to take a couple of down, and it looked a lot better, it looked cleaner, it felt better not to see such a cluttered mess. My dad had he threw them all away. Those boxes that carry bananas, in the supermarkets and stuff like that, or whatever. He had 10 plus of those full of plaques of awards that he had won, full. And he had them all over. I remember going into the office. I mean, the walls didn't have paint. It was just awards. Then he started taking them down, and the office felt better. It just felt more authentic versus braggadocious.
Yeah, I think I know a loan officer who's got like 20 different awards underneath his signature line. I'm like, that's overdoing it a little bit. I'm not sure how much I like that.
A little over the top there, buddy.
Sometimes.
All right, let's talk about Amy Cuddy really quickly, and then we'll wrap this thing up. Now, Amy Cuddy, if you guys don't know who Amy Cuddy is, I think she's a Harvard professor or Harvard professor. Harvard professor, and she wrote a book, and it's talking about what human beings value highest, and what they really consider, is going to be was it empathy and no, it's not empathy and authority. It's
questions were: can I trust this person?
Yes.
And can I respect this person?
Yes. And ask yourself that question: would you trust you? Could you, want to be associated with you? It's a very interesting question to ask oneself when you're looking at your branding, your marketing, just the way you present yourself, because your online presence is your brand. I know
this was even I think that the title of this was "How to Make a Great First Impression." And sometimes I think about that when you just said it, I'm like, shoot. Sometimes I go to a place, I'm probably not dressed exactly right in terms of can I respect this person or trust this person? Sometimes what you wear makes a difference. But to your point, even online, that's kind of what you're wearing. That's what you're showing people.
Mm-hmm. If they're going to research you, they're going to find you. And I'm well aware of the fact that, yes, I say the F-bomb a lot. Yes, I wear funny t-shirts. Yes, I'm generally have a baseball hat on. Do I take a lot of listings? Do I sell multi-million-dollar properties? Yes, I do. And you know what? People know that before they meet me, or when they research me, they see me saying the F-bomb, laughing at something childish, just me being me. And 90% of the time they're like, hee, that's funny too, or they're like, oh man, that dude dresses the way I want to dress. It's just understand, if you want to have colored hair and tattoos and piercings on video, okay, cool. Have you seen this guy, by the way? There's a real estate agent called a tattooed real estate agent. Google this fool. I mean, you want to talk about tattoos? We're talking like full face fat tattoos, full body. It's incredible. But he gets business because people know who he is. They know his brand.
I think in our industry, as long as you're genuine,
mm-hmm.
and genuine even being to the client, but also to yourself of who you are, you're not just doing a personality. I think it can come across no matter what you're kind of wearing, as long as it fits you and who you are and how you work, and people respect that.
Yeah, they do. I tell people I'm showing up in jeans and Vans, with probably a collar with a polo shirt on or something like that. Or if I get to know them, I just tell them, hey, I'm going to be super casual today. Probably going to be shorts and a t-shirt and a hat. They're like, cool. They get my brand. They don't care, right? All right, so let's wrap it up. Give me some final thoughts here, my friend, and then we'll let everybody get back to their day.
Just final thoughts. I think we all need in our business a guide or something to help push us along. And I don't think anybody does it alone. So I like this chapter in that regard.
Yeah, I think this chapter has been absolutely fantastic on multiple different levels. And I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing how I'm going to fill in my story brand. I'm going to fill in a bunch of other stuff and really kind of let people, understand what kind of brand I want to build, and then move forward from there. And that's the thing I'm getting out of this the most. And I think everybody, I used to be little Terry. Literally. I used to be my dad through and through. I used to dress like him, comb my hair like him. I wore my penny loafers like him. And it just ended up not being fun. And so I decided to start being me, and I started attracting clients, and I started to make it more about, I'm going to show up the way I want the world to see me. And people are like, okay. But yeah, I agree with you. Miles, people need to understand kind of where they can get a hold of you.
Yep. My number's right there, 925-900-8013. I know I'm looking forward for already next week's call. So we can go through chapter 7.
Yeah, it's gonna be chapter 7, guys. Get a hold of Miles. And this is a shameless plug. I've known Miles for several years now. He is an absolutely fantastic mortgage lender. If you are in California, are you licensed just in California?
Just in California.
Okay, if you guys live in California, you guys need a lender that's going to crush it out of the park. Reach out to him here, 925-900-8013, and he will make it rain for you. Guys, for me, I'm going to post a link both on YouTube and in Facebook, and it is going to be a link to a new program that my friend Bernice Ross and I have created. It is an absolutely knockout of the park success. It's called List and Sell Like Crazy in 2020. It's a 10-part video series taking you through a very comprehensive way to list and sell more homes. You're going to have scripts, dialogues, you're going to have paperwork, you're going to have all kinds of stuff to just stand way above the competition. So if you guys want to support me and everything that I've been doing, I'd be greatly appreciated. If you don't, that's cool too. I'll keep pushing out the free content. But the link is going to be in the Facebook page here. Let me just post that in here. I'm going to type link, and then go ahead and grab that, download it. If you use the code word McDaniel, you will get $100 off. So there it is, guys. One more time, Miles, there's your contact information. All right, guys, we will see you guys next Tuesday for chapter 7. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.